Good evening, everyone. Hello everyone and welcome back to another race here with Invictus Racing League. It's the social race that we've been threatening to promise for the last couple of weeks, but we are live here at Interlagos for what is going to be an exciting event. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the drivers navigate around this wonderful circuit here at the Autodromo Carlos Pache racetrack in Sao Paulo, Interlagos. We've got 2.677 miles of circuit to navigate, 15 corners, and you're with me today, Jack, your commentator for, and has been throughout, the constant of pre-season. We've got 15 drivers in for this evening, considering that we only set up the opportunity for everyone to race around here the other day. It's a very good lobby considering the short notice. Welcome back to those that are in the chat. There's a good few of you in there. Hello to Aaron, Beyond the Ball. Aaron's got another friend who wants to sign up. Good on you, Aaron. You are basically helping us out big time with ARL. Love to see it. Kelvin said, hello, Jordan. Not quite this time, but Jordan is coming back to do commentary for us later this season, so you'll get to see Jordan later on. I know he holds you close to his heart, Kelvin. Don't worry about that. Hello to you, Stephen, in the chat. And yeah, we've got as well, welcome back to HD, or rather as he's known nowadays, is Ira. So we've got Ira in the Scuderia Ferrari alongside his teammate for tonight only, Ashtube 1212. I say Ashtube 1212, it's Ashtube 1212. We've got a couple of drivers in this evening who have been unable to do the evaluation races. Bjorn de Boer is one of those in the Alpine this evening, so he's going to be racing tonight, so we can use that as an opportunity for him to get up to speed, get acquainted with what tier he's going to be assigned into. If you are new watching Invictus Racing League for the first time, it's a pleasure to have you with us. We're really looking forward to the action tonight. But if you are new, do give us a subscribe. If you're watching the video right now, if you could like it as well, really helps us with promotion. It's a big deal to us, and it's really nice to have so many people coming back to RL over the last few weeks. It's been really heartwarming, if I'm being honest. It's something that I wasn't expecting, not in a negative way, of course, but just something that I wasn't expecting to see. But here we are with all these people, lovely, wonderful people who've come back, and we get to race around a really good track tonight. And I'm hoping, if all goes well, that we will be having an exciting race ahead. Now, just bear with me one moment. I just need to mute my microphone. Lobby about to get racing in 16-second time, which is really nice to see. The other thing is, lo and behold, we've got an Invictus Racing League lobby starting pretty much bang on 8:01, which I know for some people will have known in the last few years that has been a little bit of an issue. Clip's just saying all good to go. It is absolutely all good to go. I'm really excited to see what the drivers do tonight. It also gives us another understanding as well for the team within Invictus Racing League management, an idea of where everyone's true pace is. We've done 2 evaluation races already around Silverstone and Austria in the past 2 weeks, gave us a good understanding there. We are hopeful that Owen tonight gets past lap 1, because this is a 50% race today, so a little bit different from the format that we've run. A couple of other comments saying, hope I can get some battles. Bjorn saying, well, I'm positive I'm probably tier 1. You might be, Bjorn de Boer, you might indeed. But we've got a one-shot qualifying. We're running a one-shot today, not the usual short qualifying that we would typically run in IRL. And the reason for that is it is a social race tonight. So we want to just give everybody the opportunity to work on their race performance as opposed to their outright speed in qualifying. And it looks like we're going to have a dry session, which is good to see. And obviously for those that have been having a little look around the Invictus Racing League Discord and on our social medias, you'll have seen today, rather brilliantly, that we made the announcement, of course, about our upcoming plans for this season. So week commencing the 14th of July will be the start of our brand new season at IRL. But before then, we've got qualifying to get through. We're about to make a start here at Interlagos. We're going to be on board with Giuliano Manu as we approach turn 1. Then let's get all the telemetry up here. Everybody, of course, on the soft tyre. Into the centre S as we go with the kick sab. A little bit of kick of oversteer as he goes into the left-hander at turn 3, but gathers it all up together. DRS wide open for the Sauber as we approach turn 4 to see the Interlagos. Just after the 100-metre marker, he breaks a little bit of understeer for the Sauber, but no problem then through turn 5. Going into turn 6 and 7, really difficult call to get right here at Ferradura, but that's nicely done. Down through the gears into first, and then briefly short shifting into second and third for turns number 7 and 8, and then out of 9. Into 10 we go. Nicely done. Hooks the inside curb. The car just wanting to feather out a little bit, but we get away with it. Long left-hander approaching us now before we get into Juncao, the final corner of this circuit, the final real braking zone of the track. Giuliano Manu's recovered so far during this lap. He was down in 12th place after Sector 1. Seems he's gone up to 9th, but it's going to be very, very close with a bunch of other cars. And that puts him 9th on the grid. But it's Ashtube, the Dutchman, on pole position with a 1 minute 8.498. Just over a 10th clear of our driver in second place, which looked like it was Bjorn de Boer, who said he wanted to be in tier 1, or he predicted he was going to be. And that's exactly where he is. Gel saying, I hate this. He invalidated his lap time. Connor McDonough, just to respond to your comment, when does the season start? 14th of July, week commencing. That's when we start here at IRL. Kelvin saying he's spun, but with 21 seconds to go, this is your qualifying. Ashtube and Bjorn de Boer, a whole Dutch front row, followed by Owen and Ginger Tiger. Nitrogash in 5th place, always goes around here, does Nitro. It's Matty, Clips, O'Steve and Giuliano Manu and Iran running out the top 10. Then we have Kent, Madman, Ira, Sir Spud and Gel, who invalidated his lap time. Spud clearly spinning there. That's not a representative effort from the Potato Man. I say Potato Man, he's King Potato after last season because he did a fabulous job. Looks like it's dry for the race ahead. For those that are wondering as well, in terms of the format for this evening, I'm not talking about the 50% race, I'm talking about the format for the setups today. Everyone is, for the social race, running a preset setup. So similar to the last 2 weeks, you get a choice of 5 different setups and you get to pick whichever ones from there. I've heard some people are going for preset 3, some are going for 4. There is the odd one who is deciding, I'll go with preset 2, just have a little bit more purchase through the middle sector. They're going to be vulnerable, of course, in Sector 1 and Sector 3 on the straights, but it might pay dividends for them in the race. So we're just waiting now, everybody sorting themselves out for today's race. We have got the settings on reduced in terms of damage as well. Because it's a social race, we want everyone to make sure that they've got an opportunity to just ensure that they get through to the finish. We had an issue last week, so we just want to make sure that everybody does get through all of the 15 corners here without any major issues. This is a great circuit, though. It is. Interlagos, we've got the formation lap going on ahead, so it'll be the Ferrari followed by the Alpine, leading us away. Not a sight that we've really seen this season in real life F1. We saw, of course, Lewis Hamilton winning the sprint race at China earlier on, but that's really the only time we've seen the Ferraris near the front of the field. Beyond the board in the Alpine, we haven't seen an Alpine even smell the podium so far this season. Let's have a look at the tyre situation. Of course it's going to be like that. I'm not really surprised. We've got a mixture of medium and hard compound Pirelli tyres. It's a true test today to see how the drivers navigate the increased tyre wear around this whole game, actually. So the front three are all on medium tyres. Ginger and Nitro, these two have been long time teammates in F1 games, especially in IRL. Those two are on the hards. Matty is on the mediums. Then it's Clips and O'Stephen on the hard tyre. Good qualifying effort from O'Stephen, actually, to put himself in 8th place. Seems to be gelling well in the early stages of the game. The two Saubers are on the mediums alongside Kent, who's the only Aston Martin. Kent deciding Lance Stroll shouldn't be on the grid and has kicked him off the continent. Madman in the Racing Bull is on the hards. Iraz on the mediums. Spud is on the hards. And Gel, who's a little bit behind, but he's in the Red Bull, is in 15th place. And his teammate Owen is in 3rd, but I don't think that's really mirroring real life. I think Gel looks a lot quicker than what Liam Lawson did at the start of this year. But we are coming up to the end of the formation lap. Drivers getting themselves lined up and ready to go. Can anybody challenge the front two going into turn one? You're looking at Owen as probably being the most likely. The two McLarens are going to have to get really good starts, and they're going to be a little bit of a disadvantage because of the incline at the start of the race here. So here we go for them for the first social race of the season. 36 laps ahead of us here at Interlagos, and the race is live here in Brazil. It's a great start from the front row, and especially for Bjorn de Boer. The Alpine launches into the lead. Nitrogash has had a fabulous start. He gets a little bit of contact with DXT Matty and his teammate. Owens managed to survive and retained 3rd place. Further down the field, you've got the two Saubers. They've moved up a couple of spots, as is Kent. Gel up to 10th. What a start for the man who started in 15th place. The hard tyre drivers have slipped all the way back. That's Clips up the inside. We've lost Kent, sadly, so that's Kent already out. We'll see if we can get him back in. The Ferrari and the Mercedes in the background overtaking one another. I think that was Spud and Ira, but the happiest driver leads the way at the moment. That was a great launch from Bjorn de Boer. I'm going to see if I can get Kent back into the lobby. There we go. We can invite him in. So hopefully we can get Kent back as Gel gets past the AI of Kent at the moment. Off the top of my head, I'm not 100% certain what the AI has been set to, but clearly it's a little bit too slow, because here comes Spud up the inside. The AI just jumps out of the way, and that should be run and done on traction. But having said that, AI not making it easy for Spud as he goes through in the Mercedes. The one of two Mercedes in the field. Oh, Stevens there too. But Bjorn de Boer leads the way. He's got the fastest lap, courtesy of being the first one to set a valid lap time. But he's going to be under pressure from Ashtube, who's already got the DRS, of course, enabled from lap 2 onwards. The Ferrari closes up to the rear diffuser, but not quite close enough. Owen has gone with them. Now, what is important here is DXT Matty getting past Nitrogash, which he's done. And that is a brilliant move for him, not just on circuit, but also for his strategy. He's got to get a move on now and get past Nitrogash as well. If these McLarens on the hard tyres hold up the medium runners, it's going to really affect their race come the pit stop strategies later on in the session. Clips Kiri has got past Ira for 11th place. It could be Era. There's your strategies. It's saying a 2-stop today. Could even be a 3-stop. So that's just showing you the increased tyre wear rates on this game. As I mentioned earlier on, as Kent gets overtaken by O'Stephen. I don't think he's in control of his car, but Bjorn de Boer is controlling the pace at the front. He's not under pressure into turn 1. But Owen, with the new fastest lap, courtesy of just that little bit extra DRS for him. Ooh, that running a little bit wide. He'll get away with it. So Stephen goes past Ira for 12th place. Almost, but the Ferrari not giving it up. He's going to get a track limits violation for battling side by side. But who's got DRS? I think neither of them. Brilliant. They went over the detection point at the same time. There's a little bit of contact between the two, but Ira keeps it in a straight line. Madman trying to find a way past, and he can't do it. That's DXT Matty going backwards. So the Williams, I said before, had got past Ginger Tiger. He's back behind the McLaren and Giuliano Manu as well. So a nightmare for Matty, who should have been streaking away from this group, but he is no longer. I think he's had a little mistake through Ferradura. An absolute nightmare for him, but nevertheless, he's not got any damage, which is the most important thing. Now, has Beyond the Board broken the DRS there? Just looking, no, he actually did. So he did do that, but Ash Tube has burned a bit of battery to get up to the back of him. Here comes Giuliano Manu past Ginger Tiger, who knows when to fight. Ginger Tiger, stalwart of Invictus Racing League. That's Madman going past Ira down the main straight. But Ginger Tiger knows when to fight, and that's a simple move for the Kick Sauber, running in 5th place. Currently the best result for a Sauber all of this year, considering Hulkenberg got 6th in Spain. There's Matty in 7th place. You've got Gel in 8th. It's Iran in 9th. So Spud rounds out the top 10. So those hard tyre runners who had a poor start have moved forward. Kent, I think, has got back in control of his car. I just want to check and see. Yes, he's definitely got in control of his car. So Kent is back in the race as Gel is fighting side by side with Matty, but couldn't make that stick. It's a great start for him. He's up 7 places. He's had a fabulous start to this race, and he's got a really nice run on the back of Matty, who won't have DRS to defend here. The Red Bull, I can't imagine this is going to be tricky. Oh, Matty's squeezing at the last possible second, and Iran is going to take advantage of the lack of DRS for the Williams. He goes through. That was very, very tight, I have to say. Fair enough. I can't believe they didn't get into an accident there, but they've managed to survive it. Whilst that was going on, Giuliano Manu and Ginger Tiger were swapping places, and I think for Ginger, he'll be thinking to himself, well, I've got the hard tyre, I might as well make it a little bit difficult for the Sauber in front of me, because I can use the DRS and that'll just tow him along for a couple of laps. That's really important. The front three are together on circuit, as Kent has left the lobby again. We'll get Kent back in. I don't want anyone to miss out today who's in here. There we go, we get Kent back in. But these three at the front, they're not as far ahead as I thought. The gap to Nitrogash is 3.9 seconds. Who, I said it before, he always goes well around this track, does Nitro. He's just in tune with it. I remember I had a wonderful fight with him way back on F123 in the wet weather, and he was almost impenetrable to try and overtake as his teammate overtakes Giuliano Manu. But he was fantastic and has always run very well around here, so I'm not surprised. He's right in the groove in the MCL there. Ginger Tiger back in front of Giuliano Manu, so wonder if the medium tyres are just starting to fall away a little bit, I wonder. We shall see. The strategy did say a 2-stop. Ooh, that's a bit of debris. Flew off the back of the Sauber there. Just over the curb. There's the Red Bull of Gel. Then it's Iran. The two Williams now together on circuit. So Matty slipped backwards since the start of this race. If we look, he's dropped 3 places, but he was a lot higher up than that earlier, fighting for the top 5. So I don't know if he's just struggling with the tyres, or if it's just a case of he's been shuffled backwards. That can happen. Clips is there as well. So Spud doing a great job as well. Really on form today in these opening 6 laps. Keeping up with Clips Kiri and DXT Matty, which you typically wouldn't see. That's not a criticism of Sir Spud, but that's just showing you the improvements that this guy is making season upon season. He's really refining his craft as the teammates swap places, and Matty just lets Clips go. Now, back at the front. Dutch on Dutch action here into Interlagos, not quite. But the two Dutch drivers at the front. Then it's probably Owen in third place. And Ira picks up the first set of time penalties. I think that's going to happen quite a bit today. I'd be shocked if it didn't. I say probably Owen, that's because it's his underscore and his handle on Discord. That's why it's probably Owen, not that I'm doubting who he is. I don't think he's Franz Hermann. Nitro still in fourth place, running good speed. As my headset decides to switch off. But as I was saying before, are the medium tyres falling off? Because Ginger Tiger has properly roared away from Giuliano Manu. Gel's going to go up into 6th position. And the Sauber won't get DRS either to add insult to injury. He will get it on the exit of the Senna S's though. He is more than close enough. But I think those medium tyres are starting to struggle. And look at Gel's gap already to the Sauber. That's 8 tenths in a matter of 3 corners. Gel is absolutely on fire at the moment. So he's gone from 15th to 6th place. That's impressive. Really impressive. So Spud goes past DXT Matty, who is clearly now starting to suffer with those medium compound tyres. I think it'll be a pit stop for the Williams in a couple of laps, I think. We also had an update today on F1 25. For those that aren't aware, it's made a few changes to the game. It's reduced the amount of lock-up spray, if you know what I'm talking about. So the tyres of the car in front lock up, and the smoke from the lock-up lingers for quite a while. They've reduced that down a little bit. We just saw that then with the Williams, which is good for the drivers. O'Stevens right with Madman, just in front of the Racing Bull. It's good to see Madman. Whoa, big kick of oversteer from the Racing Bull. He's trying to get up to the back of our resident driver in IRL. And the first of the pit stops are being made. It's Giuliano Manu who makes the first stop. So we'll see where the Sauber driver can pick up some time. What tyres is he going on to? It's a hard compound, the White Wall Pirelli tyre for the Sauber. Nice pit stop that as well. He gets out with no issues whatsoever. The number 21 is back onto the racing circuit. Just looking to see if he's going to come out behind Ira. It looks like he is. It's going to be very close. In fact, Ira lets him go. I think Kent is still being controlled by AI, so he hasn't got back in, sadly. There's our race leader. Quarter of the race gone. Loads of action already. And we're seeing some good fights out there, but Beyond the Ball has broken the 1 second barrier. Little bit of a feint into the pit lane. Got to be careful doing that. I have to make a point to everybody here, because in Invictus Racing League, in the season proper, you can get a penalty for crossing the white line. So Beyond's got to be careful of that, as Clips now moves the Williams into 7th place. Little kick of oversteer from him as he went through the exit of turn 2. Aaron's going to have DRS open in that lime green Sauber, but he's not going to be close enough. Into the pits goes Ira, so that's the second driver who has made a pit stop. Good evening to everybody. There's a few more of you now who are watching live. Good to see you all. Kent's just saying not going to rejoin. He's got a wired connection, but disconnects twice in 6 laps. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, this is one of the reasons why we've delayed the start of the season just by a week, because we know that there's more patches coming in the next 4 weeks, and hopefully that'll arrange that out. But I'm sorry it's happened to you, Kent. Really sad that, but see how your Ghost gets on, whether you finish 14th. We'll have to wait and see. Now for the race lead, and Ash Cheeb and Owen have both caught themselves out with a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and all of a sudden their legitimate battle for the race victory has just been shot into dust. And if we expect them to make another pit stop, they're going to have to serve that. at their next pit stop. So unless there's a safety car, which considering the standards of driving so far this evening is unlikely to happen. We say this, commentators' curse can be a thing, don't get me wrong. But that's going to really affect them. So Nitrogash now resumes his position in second place. I say resume, he assumes second place. Gel on those medium tyres is absolutely flying. Bjorn de Boer was saying that earlier on he expects to be in Tier 1. I think he's got a Red Bull friend joining him in Tier 1. That's a snap of oversteer on the brakes for the Red Bull. You can see the Red Bull's just twitching under rotation. I wonder if his brake bias for Gel is just set a little bit further back. Tristan is actually asking, is there going to be any more evaluation races for those who missed the next one? So the next evaluation race happens next week. If people miss that race, they've got to take part in Social Race 2, which can be viewed as an informal evaluation race 4, but Gel closes the gap. We've got a yellow flag. Now, O'Stephen was with Ashtube and Owen, and he's facing the wrong way. Now, if I know O'Stephen, if he's been hit by anybody, they'll know about it as Owen gets past Madman, who's going to get overtaken by Ashtube. Those hard tyres are now going to start looking very second rate to the drivers who have been on them since lap 1. And Owen moving right out of the way for Ashtube, but then blocking Madman. I wonder if Owen is thinking... Yeah, I wonder if Owen is thinking about just trying to follow Ashtube at this point and using him as a bit of a guide. Nitrogash into the pit. Now that's early from Nitrogash. Lap 12. He's in the pits a lot earlier than I expected him to be. So that's the hard tyre driver into the pits along with Gel. So Bjorn de Boer is carrying on. Him and Iram now are the only two drivers who started on the medium tyres out there on circuit. No problem, Tristan. Good to have you watching us, friend. Now, will Ashtube go past the... Whoa! I've not seen that before. That was brave, and he threaded that through a needle. Wow. What a fabulous overtake from Owen. Unconventional to say the least, but he certainly surprised the Ferrari and myself. Great move. Overtaken the race so far. In fact, I'm just watching that back through my own feed here. Wow, that was unbelievably close. That is threading the eye of a needle right there. Now, in terms of the drivers who are still out there yet to pit, we've still, of course, got the top 5 drivers, as my device likes to rotate when I don't want it to, which is always ideal. So the top 5 drivers, as I was saying, Madman in 8th place is yet to pit, and O'Stephen 2. I say that, but Clips Kerry now joins the hard tyre runners. What's Bjorn de Boer's plan? Is Bjorn de Boer, and I'm thinking he might be doing this, but let's see. As Madman picks up a drive, well, not drive through, it might be later, but it's a 10-second time penalty for Madman, so he's the 3rd driver this evening now to pick up a speeding violation. We saw that a lot in the opening 2 evaluation races as well, so clearly the braking on this game is catching a few drivers out, maybe a bit of race rustiness there. But what I was saying was, is Bjorn de Boer thinking about a one-stop? See if he can do it. He's got a bit of a buffer because I was about to say Spud and Iran are in front of Owen and Ashtube, but it's just Iran, and I think Spud... Yeah, he moves out of the way. The Mercedes knows when he's in a fight. And the proper IRL resident, Spud, moves down into 6th place. But a great showing from him thus far. Bjorn de Boer into the pits as the Ferrari blasts past our commentary gantry here. And he's also going to fly past the Sauber in just a minute. Well, I say that, but to be fair... Iran's the one going past Owen, and here comes the Ferrari down the outside. He's going to almost run into the back. He does run into the back of the Sauber. And Iran ends up letting the Red Bull through. But look how much time that the Red Bull has gained. from that alone, from being stuck behind the Sauber, there are fights across the circuit. There's one with Nitrogash as well as Ashji runs into the back of Iran. Oh, on the curb. The curbs in this game are pretty lethal. We watch it on board with Sir Spud, and sure enough, just as I did that, the Ferrari moves up into 5th place. Iran, I'm sure, might be thinking about a one-stop at this point if he's trying to make those medium tyres last as long as he's going to. That's Gel up the inside of Iran's teammate of Giuliano Manu. Matty, O'Stephen and Clips are all fighting together, but the Williamses have made their way past their Mercedes engine partner. It's really good racing today, really exciting action. Kent, your AI is still in 15th place. You're only 5 seconds off Iraq, so if Iraq gets another penalty, you will be up into 14th place, and that is a couple of pit stops. So Ginger Tiger, who briefly led the race, is in. Iran is finally getting rid of those medium tyres. 15 laps is a Herculean effort from the Sauber driver, but he's going to go, I'm going to assume, onto the hard compound tyre. There it is, the White Wall Pirelli. I wonder if he is going to try and make it to the end. 20 laps on the hards. Considering that we saw drivers only able to do 20, that's a Ferrari. I think Ira has just gone round by themselves. And that brings Kent back into the action. But I was saying, you know, Iruni's just made that pit stop. Can they make the tyre last 20 laps? We saw the drivers struggling to get to 13. I say that having got Sir Spud in 3rd place. He's yet to pit. I wonder if Sir Spud's going to be the one to try it properly. I know Spud quite well, of course. A lot of people do in IRL are aware of Spud. But in recent times, he has really been mixing it up with the strategy. But there's just no grip on those hard compound tyres at all. Bjorn de Boer drove past him as if he wasn't even there. And by the way, Bjorn de Boer, having stayed out for longer than our front two at the moment, he is 5.5 seconds behind. His laps on this tyre, though, are 4 less than the front duo. So will that be a big enough swing for later on in the race? There's Nitro running in 5th place. He's now got the attentions of Gel behind him. And then further back in the field, you've got Ginger Tiger and Clips close together. Ginger, though, on new mediums. So it's going to be a difficult ask for the Williams to overtake the McLaren in the next couple of laps, but we will see. Just looking to see where everybody else is. As Gel goes up the inside of Nitro. Oh, there's a little bit of banging wheels together. They're so close behind Sir Spud. They've got to keep it clean, boys. Down the inside, Spud's got no grip, but they're both blocked in. So Gel's trying to find a way past, but Nitro pinning the Red Bull to the outside, but he just can't this time hold him off. And the Red Bull's going to go through, and he'll have the slipstream as Spud in front. This could get a little bit messy. Oh, goodness me. Oh, Spud still can't get a move on. He's holding everybody up. It's through no fault of his own. He's trying to drive as Nitro clonks into the side of the Mercedes. I'm sure Calvin will have something to say about that as Gel goes on the grass to get through. And I think Spud's there too, and it's all a little bit messy, if I'm being honest. And that's Owen. Owen's round. Owen's in the wall. Owen's out. Has his car got stuck? I wonder if that's what happened. Our race leader is out. We've got a virtual safety car. I just saw a yellow flag. And that was it. Our race leader is out. And once again, Owen has an incredible 0% finishing rate in pre-season. Well, as a competitor, you'd hope to have a 0% pre-season finish rate compared to the actual season 21. But for Owen, he has had absolutely no luck this pre-season. We've got a couple of cars in the pits. We've got Ira as one of them. Owen has left the session, probably in disgust. Owen saying too hot and sweaty. I'm just going to say, did you spin? We'll see. We'll find out. Now, a couple of drivers in the pits getting advantage of a free pit stop. So Spud has played a bit of a blinder with that one, even though he was involved in the knock it. Oh, and Ira's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC. So that we've gone back to green again. Spud will still get some time gained from this. Not as much as he would have done it. It has still been clear. Ginger Tiger's gone onto the softs. That is an interesting call for Ginger to take. But thanks to everything that's going on, Ira gets lapped by Ashtube. But Ashtube's now only 1.8 seconds ahead of Beyond the Boar, and Beyond the Boar is flying at a comfortable rate of knots here in the Alpine. And the Ferrari has just given Beyond the Boar DRS. That lap traffic has just helped Beyond the Boar, and you can see that gap's going to close down here. So the battle for the race lead is back on. Beyond the Boar with 4 extra laps worth of tyre life. He's using it to good effect already. Gel up to 3rd. So he's up 12 spaces from the start of this race. Nitrogash running in a really good 4th at the moment. Giuliano Manu is 5th. Clips and Matty are 6th and 7th. Don't forget these two on slightly different strategies. Clips has still got to run the medium tyre, I believe. But he's close to get down to Giuliano Manu. So Tyrewear is a big, big player in this year's game. You know, even look at the difference that Beyond the Boar's made. Because I'm looking at Clips' gap to Giuliano Manu, and he's got 5 laps comfortable of extra tyre life to play with, and he's flying up to the back of the Sauber. But the Alpine, Flavio Briatore, will be delighted because he's got a car fighting for the race victory. DRS available. Right, second time of asking. The second bite of DRS. Can Beyond the Boar go through this time? He's got it wide open. He's going to go to the inside line. The Ferrari heavily defends, but he goes into the lead of the race. And let's not forget, 10-second time penalty for Ashtube, but he's not going to give it up. He's going to try and look at the outside of Ferradura, but it would take a brave man to be able to pull that manoeuvre off around the outside of there, and probably not possible in these cars, to be fair. Clips is the next driver to look at, along with Iran, because these two have got a little bit more tyre life available to them than the cars that they're chasing. So Spud's right with Ginger Tiger as well in the fight for a spot just inside the top 10, the kick of oversteer for Clips. Kiri? Well, Williams is going to line up, I think. Ooh, I was going to say line up a move on the Sauber. But that little bit of oversteers just pulled him away from the Sauber in front of us. But look at the straight line speed on that Williams. He just blasts on past. He goes up to 5th, and Iran is going to overtake DXT Matty. And that is a move complete as they both lap the Ferrari of Ira. There is Sir Spud. Didn't look as if Sir Spud had his DRS. I'm sure he did, but it didn't look like he had it open. So we've had a Williams overtake a Sauber, and in status quo we've had a Sauber overtake a Williams. But with a third of the race still to run, 14 laps of this race still to run, I should say, there's quite a lot of battles that are mixing up now. We know that there's going to be a few drivers getting ready to pit, as O'Stephen picks up a time penalty. Ooh, Matty getting the car all sorts of sideways out of the left-hander there at Pinarino. Is a very difficult corner to get right. Just looking to see Giuliano Manu. I was mentioning that drivers are getting themselves ready for pit stops. I'm not surprised that Giuliano has come in. I wonder what tyre he will take to the flag. Will he brave it out on medium tyres, or will he take hards? He's gone hards. So 13 laps to the end of this race for the Sauber. There's Madman running in 8th place. He's had an adventurous time of it. How's Madman? But he's running quite solidly at the moment, and he's got to have another pit stop, as definitely will Ginger Tiger. Spud is the one I'm not 100% certain on. He'll have to have done 17 laps by the time he gets to lap 36. I don't know if the mediums will last that long. It's a really tough one to call. Giuliano Manu will go to the end of the race. That won't be in doubt. And for Giuliano Manu, a pit stop around this circuit is not that long. It's about 18 seconds. Giuliano Manu is potentially on for a top 5 finish here, depending on where everybody else shakes out, and of course how the tyre wear works out. Because we know that Ash Tube, Gel, Nitro, Clips, DXT Matty and Madman, they're going to be all due a pit stop in the next few laps. To quote Alex Jakes, what an exciting motor race. I only say that because he says it in the game. I don't think I've ever heard Alex Jakes ever say that in his real life commentary. He might have done, but not in the way that he says it in the game. As Kent moves out of the way for Ash Tube, who's putting a lap on the Aston Martin. And I wonder if Ash Tube there is... I was going to say there he is going into the pit lane, but he's running over the inside painted strip there. But you'd expect Ash Tube to pit before Beyond the Boar, and Gel has decided to do that. Gel could be on for a second place finish here. He's driven brilliantly well. Medium tyres for the Red Bull team. They got one Red Bull out, so they don't have to worry about Owen. And Madman also in. So the Red Bull family of teams have decided this is the time to get a pit stop. And the number 8 lining up. I'm just curious to know what is the tyre. I'm going to say that's mediums by the looks of things. Of course, Madman's got to serve his 10-second stop and go penalty before his car can get serviced. There goes Ginger Tiger. He's gone back to the hard compounds. But that'll see him through to the end of the race. So off goes Ginger. Madman did go on to medium tyres in the end. So all is quiet at the moment in South America as drivers start to make a pit stop, and we'll start to see the convergence of time gaps. I can hear Gel's... He's clearly not running ABS, but I could just hear the car locking up on the rear axle. Nitrogash and Clips are into the pits. So that's another couple of spots for the Red Bull to go up. And you can see he's got DXC Matty in his sights now. And look at that. Matty just has, once again, no grip in the Williams. Battery being deployed for the Red Bull. And that's Iran. It's actually Kent who's moving out in front of them. Can Del go through? Yes, he can. And the extra grip on those medium tyres coming out of the first lap has absolutely nailed Gel on for what looks to be a very strong podium in the end for the Red Bull driver. So he moves up to 4th. He's got Iran, the next car he needs to overtake. I imagine even if Iran decides to do a one-stop strategy, I can't see him being able to... Oh, Ash Tube again. He's got another 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So he's going to have to serve that one there, and then he's got another 10 seconds to play with. Has Gel got DRS? No, not quite. Nitrogash will have DRS on. So Spud, as Ira has a big slide out of the final corner. Nitro is going to go past Spud in just a moment. He gets the DRS, and yeah, Spud giving him a lot of room. Matty into the pits as well. There's Ashtube now coming out of it. And so Giuliano Manu moves up into 4th position on the circuit. Ashtube now coming out. He's going to come out behind Nitro, actually. Where's Sir Spud? A little bit further back. I said he was going to come out behind Nitro. This is very, very close. But Ashtube had the inside line at Descida del Lago. And he gets in front of the McLaren. But let's not forget, he's got that 10-second time penalty he's got to play with. And that won't be going away. Unless we have a late safety car intervention at this stage. But it's looking unlikely. Gel, the next driver, he's going to try. I think he's going to get past before we get to the DRS line. Yeah, there we go. He's right under the rear spoiler of the Sauber on the inside of turn number 14. He moves through to 2nd. And now he's going to go after the Hunter Bjorn de Boer, who is still yet to pit. I wonder if Bjorn's going to go for the soft tyres at the end of this race. He's got time to play with to do that. Nitro, close enough to Ashtube? No. Clips is very close to the back of Spud, and Nitro we actually cut away then, sadly. Nitro nearly running straight through the back of the Ferrari and going over the rear suspension. Would have been less than ideal. Clips is through. Into 7th place. That's a nice move for the number 25. As Kent gets out of the way. There's a yellow flag, but that's just for Kent going slow. It's not actually to do with a car that's gone off the circuit. This, though, is the closest fight that we have on track right now. It's a trio fighting over 4th place. Iran has kind of moved away from these guys, but even though he's up 7 places, the problem for Iran right now is that he's got 12-lap-old hard tyres. If he wants to make it to the end, he might have to play as a bit of a buffer here for his teammate behind. Ashtube, though, in the slipstream, DRS and new fastest lap of the race, elects not to overtake the Sauber. He's going to wait until, I think, the exit of Centre S here at turn 3. It's a really nice exit. And he's got the battery deployment going strong. The Sauber defends to the inside. The Ferrari trying to go all the way around the outside. But he can't quite make that move. He tried. And he's going to try again around the outside of Ferradura. Goodness me. I thought someone was going to prove me wrong from earlier. He's trying to go around the outside again. Ashtube not looking for the conventional overtake. He's trying to move around in the rear wings. I was going to say rear wings, but I mean the rear mirrors of the Sauber in front. He's ducking and diving left and right. Ginger Tiger joins the So Solid penalty crew for track limits. Gel 22 seconds behind Bjorn de Boer. I think Bjorn surely isn't going to stay out all the way through, is he? We'll have to find out in a minute. Ashtube this time really closing up the gap. He can't afford to delay this time. He moves past the Sauber. Nitro just a little bit further back. Now the reason... Oh, there we go. That was the time to do it for Ashtube. He's got a nice gap now. I don't think Giuliano Manu is going to be near enough in proximity to make an overtake, and he's sure enough, he's going to scamper off into the distance. Nitro now will be the next driver trying to line up an overtake on the Sauber. Giuliano Manu doing a good job to try and, I'd say, support his teammates indirectly, but as you can see, Ashtube can see the stake sponsorship glaring at him. Scotty asking Owen DNF. Yes, Owen DNF. He got a bit of sweat apparently, dripped into his eye, and he flew off the road. Ira has spun it and damaged his front wing and retired from the race. So a bit of a challenging one for the Ferrari. Nitro plastered to the rear spoiler. No longer, because he's gone past the Sauber man and he moves into a top 5 bearing. Ferrari's moved out of the way. There won't be a safety car for that. They should be able to clear that out. And sure enough, the yellow flag has gone. There goes Ashtube into third position. Now, Ashtube's got a job to do. He's got to pull 10 seconds on Iran, Nitro, and potentially Giuliano Manu as well to secure a podium. So that's the first narrative of this evening. So Spud picks up a track limits violation as well. Just starting to... But to be fair, though, for track limits, we've done quite well tonight. Just have a look at the penalty situation. You know, only 3 of the 15 had a track limits violation. So it's been really positive today in terms of that. And into... Rather brilliantly, my headset likes to cut off from time to time when I'm talking so much. But nevertheless... Oh, Nitro just underestimated the grip that Iran had, and that's a little bit naughty. I know this is a social race, but that was not the best from Nitro there. I know he had a lot more grip than Iran, but I think he just misjudged that, and I think Iran is going to let his teammate by. He does indeed. I think Iran will be a bit frustrated with that manoeuvre. Tristan, they're asking in terms of what's your opinions on how these races have been going so far. It's been good. It's been really positive, actually. I think we've had a lot of drivers competing so far. I think there's a clear pecking order in terms of the drivers who have competed so far. We can comfortably see the drivers who are in Tier 1 at the moment. So we could definitely see who those are. What we are trying to determine at the moment is the Tier 2 drivers, because there's a bit of a crossover between Tiers 1 and 2 at the minute. We've still got a few more drivers yet who are to do an evaluation race. So that'll probably help us fill the gaps in a little bit more. We've got, I would say there's about 10 drivers, I think, who've applied out of the 2 lobbies worth that we've got so far, who are yet to compete in a race. Ideally, we do need to have them compete, otherwise we'll have to blindly assign them. And then if they get upset about it, we'll just say, well, you didn't race. So we'll handle it in that respect. Now, just one thing I want to... But other than that, sorry, to go back to Tristan's point, it's been good to watch. It's been really exciting to commentate on. I've had a really great time. And we've got a few commentators in as well for this season, so really excited to see everybody compete. We've got ARL, of course. He's going to be commentating on one tier. I've spoke to a couple of other members in IRL who are interested as too, so we'll have 2 tiers of fully live commentated and streamed action. I've got to say, one of the people who've really stepped up for us this season, and we've been all very impressed with their contributions, is the driver that we're following at the moment. Clips has hosted every single race so far in pre-season, and it just shows you the commitment that he's got to us, and it's really fantastic. So he's not only catching Iran and probably going to overtake the Sauber driver, but he's also been a massive help to us, and it's great to see him on track having a good fight. And also, this game seems to be lending itself quite well to the competitiveness of the drivers in the field. You know, we know that there's a couple of Tier 1 drivers up at the front here, like Bjorn de Boer, who's on his penultimate lap now. Gel being another one of those. Ashtube looking likely. Nitro's is an interesting one because he's very circuit specific. And this is one track where he does excel at. So that might skew the data a little bit, but we've got historical data that we can fall back on. But everybody else, they're in that sort of floaty middle zone. We don't quite know exactly where we're going to put them just yet, but we will have everything sorted as Clips gets squeezed like Barrichello was by Schumacher in 2010 at the Hungaroring. But Clips sliding all over the shop as he settles the car down. Those hard tyres now for Iran, looking very second-hand. But Iran can't make a manoeuvre into Desida del Lago. There seems to be a bit of a visual glitch on the exit of Desida, and there as well. You saw the damage of the underbody coming up, and no one's got underbody damage from running over a curb. The sensitivity settings on the lobby tonight are on reduced, so that's definitely not an actual impact. So Spud running really well with Ginger today. I've been impressed with his pace. DXT Matty, he's had some trials and tribulations today. I think Matty's one of the drivers that I thought would have been a lot higher up, maybe in the top 5. But sometimes you just have circuits and races where things don't quite go to plan. Same with Madman and O'Stephen. Kent is doing a great job. Well done, Kent. But our race leader is on his final lap. Bjorn de Boer, he's managed to make a one-stop strategy work. Let's just bring it up here as Aaron gets past Klipskiri. They're fighting side by side. Let me just briefly get to them. Bjorn de Boer just coming around the Junkow now. I want to see if Clips can get through here. No, he's going to stay behind. But Bjorn de Boer, as I say, coming around this final braking zone, he's been imperious today. This is a tier 1 driver, absolutely. He's one of the few drivers who's made a one-stop work. It's the Dutchman, it's Bjorn de Boer who wins the first social race of the season here at Interlagos. A fantastic drive from the Dutchman. What a recovery this is from Jel Geeson. He has done a brilliant job to come through the field after his disqualification in qualifying. He's going to end up second. It's an all-Dutch 1-2. Actually, I think that is incorrect, but Gel is second anyway. Ashtube is going to get overtaken by Nitrogash, who snatches a podium. Well done to Nitro. Juliana Manu is fourth. Ashtube will result and be classified as fifth. Aaron holds on to sixth from Klipskiri. We're then waiting on Ginger Tiger. I praised Sir Spud, and that was my own fault, because he's now dropped right back behind DXT Matty, nearly. He must have had a little bit of an error, but he's just about going to hold on to 9th place on circuit, but Matty gets him because of time penalties. Well done to Madman, finishing in 11th place in the end. Had a bit of an alternative strategy for him today. It didn't work out in the way he hoped, but still good pace. O'Stephen, our last driver, across the line on the lead lap. That's that for today. Well, I've got to say, I really did enjoy that. It's cracking action to watch. And there they are, the drivers celebrating. I was right about Gel being Dutch. So my own inability there with the flags. But the drivers and the fans all celebrating. They've all got yellow and green shirts on and a couple of blue ones for the Alpine team. Spraying the champagne. Let's have a look at the situation here. So we've got race winners Bjorn de Boer. Fastest lap was Ashtube. We got Gel as driver of the day. Not a surprise. Clips was overtaking a lot of drivers. He got most overtakes. And Iran got cleanest driver in the session. Let's run through these final standings then for today. It's Bjorn de Boer who takes victory, and a dominant one at that. Gel, great drive through the field to take second. Nitro will be delighted with third. Juliana Manu, Ashtube and Iran round out the top six. Clips, Kiri, Ginger Tiger, DXT Matty and Sir Spud round out the point scoring finishes. DJ Madman is 11th with FRLO Stephen in 12th. Kent's Ghost ended up 13th with Ira retiring, and Owen, the sweaty boy that he is, sadly retiring due to it falling in his eye. And so Spud saying, I'm happy with that race. I am not surprised, Spud. That was a great effort from you. I'm always full of praise for Spud. I won't even deny we are King Potato fans here at Invictus. But yes, what a race. Great action. Lots of stuff going on circuit today. Really exciting to watch. And that's what we've got. A little sneak preview for the season ahead. Next week on the 1st of July, I know next week is July already. It feels like this year has gone by in a flash. The 1st of July, we'll have our third evaluation race of the season, and we'll also be revealing the calendar for season 21. So that'll be exciting. I'm sure we're all looking forward to that. Week commencing the 7th of July, we'll have our tier allocations. People will be getting moved about there. And we'll have our second social race during the week commencing the 7th of July. And then our season will start from the 14th of July. So we're not far away now from the start of the season. We're really excited here at Invictus Racing League. We hope you are too. And for everyone who has joined us this evening, thank you so much. It's been great to have you on board with us. And we've really noticed that there's been a massive uptake in the people watching our races since we made those changes earlier on in the year, new change of management, etc. It seems to have made a really big difference. So we're really grateful for everybody who's popped back. In fact, the last 4 races we've done have cleared 100 views. So it just shows you what a difference life can make. But in any case, I've been Jack Millington, your commentator for Invictus Racing League this evening. It's been a pleasure and a privilege as always, and we will be back on the 1st of July for our evaluation race 3. Details of that will be revealed to the drivers in the coming days. Wherever it might be in the big wide world, have a good one, and thank you very much for watching here at Invictus Racing League.